How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another Flesh and Blood video. Today we have a mail day video. Well, it's not exactly a mail day video because we're going to open this up and I'm going to show you what I got. And then I'm also going to show you what I intend to use these cards for. I figured that'd be a little bit more interesting than just being like, yo, these are the cards I bought. I'm going to show you the decks, actually, two decks here, that these cards are going to be for. These are actually the last cards I need for these decks. Actually, that's not entirely true. I need one more card other than these ones. But yeah, I'm going to show you the decks that I'm brewing, decks that I'm building, where I got these deck lists from, because these are top tier competitive decks, as well as kind of how I sleeve them up, because I know a lot of folks always ask the question, what kind of sleeves are you using? Well, I use, at least for these ones in this video, I use Dragon Shield. I do like the matte blacks, as well as some KMC Perfects. And I will show you a little trick. There is a little trick to get the sleeves in the other sleeves, because sometimes the KMC sleeves can be a little bit too big, or the Dragon Shield can be a little bit too tight. So yeah, we're gonna open up this package. I actually got this from Channel Fireball. I actually had some store credit with them, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to cash my store credit and pick up some Flesh and Blood cards. This is not a sponsored thing from Channel Fireball. In fact, I highly recommend checking out FAB Foundry for Flesh and Blood singles. Check out Red Riot Games for Flesh and Blood singles if you live in Canada. And I also have an affiliate link with TCG Player. So if you buy from TCG Player, check them out for like singles or even sealed product. But I would highly recommend checking out FAB Foundry or Red Riot Games first. Without further ado, we're already like a minute or two in. Let's just open this up and I'll show you what I got here. All right, here we go. Let's see. Is this the front or the back? Because I kind of want to slow. Oh, it's the back. Cool. I want to slow roll it. This is just kind of like the information here. We're just gonna yeet that to the side. There's nothing else. Let's see if they put the spicy hit right on the front. Oh, no, they didn't. Okay, excellent. Okay, cool. Let's do this. As you can see, one of them is a Bravo card. So that means one of these decks is going to be a Bravo Showstopper deck. These are both classic constructed decks. They are not Blitz decks. I've been kind of building more classic constructed decks as I kind of want to get into the competitive scene. We're gonna save this one for last because I bet this is the spice. That's the spice pull. So these are all cards that I was missing. I think almost all of them are from Unlimited Welcome to Wraith. Some of them are foil. Some of them are not foil. Here we have a beautiful foil Showtime. That's kind of ding on the top. Not of this card, but a further one back. So foil Showtime is excellent. Should have a second foil Showtime. These are all supers and Majestics. Just picking up the ones that I need. And this will actually almost complete a full playset of every single super and Majestic for me, except for Brute. We have a last ditch effort. This is a really good card for the Bravo deck. Cranial Crush, once again for Bravo, should be a second Cranial Crush. We have Crippling Crush, once again for the Bravo deck. I should have a second Crippling Crush. I still have an alpha version of this card. We have a Spinal Crush and probably a second Spinal Crush. As you can see, I didn't really have much luck pulling Guardian cards, so I needed to pick some up. These actually aren't too expensive, by the way. Not too much at all for the Majestics and Supers. This is an expensive card. And I'll show you what it is in just a second. We also have Ninja Stuff, Ancestral Empowerment. Just one of these because I actually pulled a foil one. So I have a foil one of these and an alpha one. So yeah, Ancestral Empowerment. As well as Lord of Wind, and a third Lord of Wind, because I have never pulled a freaking Lord of Wind. When it comes to Katsu, I had almost every card I needed, except for these 3 Lord of Winds and this Ancestral Empowerment, and another card, which once again we will talk about in just a moment. And then here we have Tectonic Plating. So good. I initially had actually ordered a Mask of Momentum from them, and then I got a message saying like, hey, our stocking level was wrong, and we don't have a Mask of Momentum. Would you like a refund or whatever? And I was just like, you know what? Give me a Tectonic Plating and refund me the difference. So that is what they did. This is one of the last legendaries I need for Flesh and Blood. It is, once again, a unlimited version. Still very, very nice. Yeah. So the only legendary I need now in the entire game, other than Shiana, is Mask of Momentum. And so that is the one card that I need for my ninja deck is Mask of Momentum. I do not have a copy of it, so I will definitely need that. So what I'm going to do here is all of these are going to go in Perfect Fit sleeves, and then they're going to go into some Dragon Shield sleeves, and I'll kind of show you the decks that I'm building too. As I sleeve these up, I guess we can either speed through this or we can talk. Let's talk a little bit. So the two decks that I'm building, obviously, there's a Katsu deck and a Bravo deck, and I really want to make at least one deck of every single hero for either Classic Constructed or Blitz. Doesn't have to be one, for each, because I think some classes are a little bit more fun in, one format over another. But I really wanted to play with these two because these are like classic classes, and one of them is more of a go wide deck where you do a lot of attacks, and the one's a go tall deck, Bravo here, where you go for like one single huge attack every turn, maybe even building up to a single huge attack. And I just never actually played with Bravo or Katsu outside of the hero decks. Definitely played with those a bit, but yeah, I'd like to play with some souped up versions of them. Definitely wanted to get the foil Showtime, because I had a foil Alpha Print Showtime that you may remember that I opened up in my very first booster box. I also opened up a full Enlightened Strike in that video, as well as Crippling Crushes. I ended up selling one of those Crippling... Well, I didn't sell, I traded. I traded that Crippling Crush and another thing for a Alpha Toma Fyandal, which I now have a full playset of. But these are some of the cards that I just really, really needed, including, once again, the Tectonic Plating. I think all of these together actually wasn't that expensive, if I remember right. I mean, Tectonic Plating was... Ooh, I don't remember. I got like a $40 refund. I think it was 80 or 90 bucks when I bought this. So not too bad, honestly. And then here we have the decks. So let's look at the decks. I did put the little rulebook in here in case I was gonna, play with someone, so I can kind of, we can reference the rulebook. This one is the Katsu deck. Here is what I consider to be the main deck, and then here's like the extra cards or your sideboard or something like that, as well as the extra sleeves that we will need. So we're going to set the Katsu deck here and our little Ultimate Guard divider. I do like these, by the way, these Ultimate Guard deck cases. They're not the fanciest thing, they're not the most expensive thing, but they are compact and they're nice. And they have that divider, and they will fit your entire deck double sleeved, which is excellent. Plus a little bit extra room if you need the extra room. Obviously, I have the foil Bravo and a foil Katsu. Because if you got it, man, you got to flex if you got it, man. So yeah, let's get these sleeved up. And here's all of the Guardian ones as well. This is my Guardian sideboard here. So let's see. Let's sleeve up the Ninja deck first, just because there are significantly less cards that need to go in that Ninja deck. Let's see how easy this will be, and then it'll determine when we need to get the extra card. Oh, we're gonna need it right off the bat. So watch this. When I slide the card down here, it's actually going to slip out of the Perfect Fit sleeve, but I do have a trick to help prevent this. So yeah, let me go grab something to help with that. So my super secret tech for getting a card in a Perfect Fit sleeve into a Dragon Shield is actually using another card in addition to this card. It just creates enough friction where it doesn't actually slide the sleeve out. So you kind of put the card in just a little bit, and then you put the other card in, and you want to make sure you get a card that you don't mind being damaged, like this basic island, and you push the island in over the top, and then push them both in, if you can see, at the same time, and it actually should go in perfectly, like so. So it's, the sleeve is still in there, Perfect Fit sleeve still in there, and then you can actually grab the island, and you kind of want to clamp down here at the bottom so the card doesn't come up, and then you just kind of pull this out, and you're good. Yep, no excess sleeve at the top, perfectly on the bottom, kind of get some of the air out, and you're good to go. And so that's my super secret tech for getting Perfect Fit sleeves into Dragon Shield sleeves, just in case any of you out there are wondering if you're trying to sleeve up your deck and you're like, why aren't the sleeves working? You can actually just get it to work like this. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I should honestly just buy some Dragon Shield Perfect Fits, but I I have a whole bunch of KMC Perfects, and so I'm going to use my KMC Perfect. Sometimes it actually works perfectly, and you don't have to do this, but sometimes you do. And so I'm just going to do it for all of these just to show you that you can do it. And once you get it in there, man, once you get it in there, you're good to go. Once you get it in there, you're good to go. All right, so let's clean this off. There's a bunch of fuzz on here. I'm somewhat particular about that kind of stuff. We do have a little dog, so we got a lot of hairs and fuzz around the apartment. She's a cute little long-haired Chihuahua who's also quite barky. Sometimes she's very protective. If she thinks of something outside, she's gonna bark. And I also like to kind of apply some pressure here to get all of the air out. And yeah, there you go. All set up. We'll kind of set this card to the side because I'm sure we're going to need it for the Bravo portion of this. But I'm definitely going to have to put these in the deck. And this is the deck I'm using, by the way, or the deck I'm building. This is Katsu. I pulled this deck list from Flesh and Blood TCG, so FABTCG.com. If you go to, I think, events, there is a deck list area, and you can pull deck lists from all of the topping decks. I don't remember exactly which deck this one is. I kind of looked through a bunch of them, and I just basically copied the deck, net decked the deck. I'm gonna play with this as my initial version and then kind of tweak on it and iterate on it. That's what I like to do for classes and decks that I've never really played before, just to kind of give you a leg up, and then you can kind of make it your own thing over time. So this is like, these are some, you can't really tell, but these are both cold foil harmonized Kodachis. Same is true for Bravo. I have a cold foil version of his weapon, as well as a foil breaking scales. Man, it's really hard to tell with the lighting here, and Breeze Rider boots. Yeah, this is just kind of like a typical ninja deck. You got your Surging Strikes, your Whelming Gust Waves. Let's see if I can get... Oh, there we go. That's the good angle there. Let's see if I can get on there. There we go. The Surging Strikes. Whelming Gust Waves. We have your Mugenshi Release, and then we're going to put the Lord of Wind right after the Mugenshi Release, because it goes Whelming Gust Wave into Mugenshi into Lord of Wind. And we also have the Leg Tap Combo, Leg Tap Rising Knee Thrust into the Hurricane Technique or the Blackout Kick. And then, of course, we are running full playset of the Enlightened Strike. These are all of the 3 Enlightened Strikes we pulled in our Unlimited unboxings. 3 out of 4 of my boxes for Unlimited have Enlightened Strikes in them. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Didn't have to buy any more. I currently own 6 Enlightened Strikes. So there's that. We have some, Salt in Your Wound. Good old foil head jab. And then should have some more cards back here, including some energy potions. Here's my foil ancestral empowerment that I opened in a... This was actually in the same box, by the way, as that heart that I pulled. I pulled a heart and an ancestral foil empowerment in the same box. And then here we have your pink pitch. You can see the difference here, the pink and the red. The pink pitch version is the alpha print version, actually. So yeah, definitely need your full set of ancestrals. Get your classic Razor Reflex. You got your Lunging Press. I do have some foil Lunging Presses. Plunder Run's a great card for here too. And of course, classic Sink Below. And then that's kind of like the main deck that I plan on kind of like running initially. And then making swaps based on, what is needed. Here we have some of the other cards. Though I think you might run some of these main deck. I'm not entirely sure yet because I haven't really played with the deck because it was incomplete. You got some Snatches. Got some Scar for Scars. I imagine you put these in against aggressive decks as well. So they're going to deal damage to you. So you can actually get that go again from Scar for a Scar. Same thing is true for Life for a Life. Arena's Prayer is really good against arcane damage decks. We got some Art of War. This might go main deck, but I've been putting it like sideboard for now. But I'm not 100% sure on this. It could also be really good in matches where you want to be more defensive because it has one of those options to be more defensive. Speaking of which, we have Reinforce the Line. More options to be defensive, full playset. And then some equipment, Snapdragon Scalers and the Null-Rune Gloves for that Wizard, or more likely, Rune Blade matchup. Here is the Guardian deck, and I'm just going to speed through these ones, actually, just sleeve these up. This is the sideboard, by the way, for the Guardian deck. We can go over the sideboard real quick. Got some Choke Slams in the sideboard. A lot of these have you know, on-hit crush effects for very specific things, and I figured these are the ones you probably want to play in the sideboard. I should be running 2 Remembrances, if I remember right. I have one in another deck that I could pull. We also have Crush the Weak, Stamp Authority. I really like this card. And then we have some equipment. We have a full set of Null Rune, just in case we need it, as well as some Iron Rot, in case we need that extra defense. So here we have all of the Guardian cards, all sleeved up here. The Tectonic Plating will actually get a top loader and then live with all of my other legendary equipment. Here I have a fresh top loader here. And so let's just, oh my god, if I can get it in, there we go. Key to getting a top load or card in the top loader, just bang it a bunch of times. Just you know, give it a good old bang a bunch of times. That's a little uneven. And there's like a little smudgy thing. That bothers me. You know what? I'll take it out. Things like that, it's on the inside. No, it might be on here. Let's just put it like this. I don't know, man. I'm kind of like, I don't know what you'd call it. Anal about that? I don't know. I just want it to look alright. I just want it to look alright. You know, when you spend that much money on a card, you want it to be in peak condition. So we have our Tectonic Plating, and this will live with all of my other equipment here. So here we can sort this out. Let's just go ahead and put the cards such as this. So here we have all of the Arcane Rising. All my Arcane Rising cards are actually, or legendaries here. These are all cold foil. As you can tell by the bottom, they're not unlimited. Because I bought so many cases. I bought so many cases of these. I pulled 2 Grasps, traded for the Teklo Foundry Heart, and then bought the rest of them when they weren't super expensive. I'm really glad that I did that. But I didn't actually pick up all of the Arcane, or all of the Welcome to Wraith stuff, so this kind of stuff, I'm going to have to pull, like, you know, secondhand and get the unlimited versions. The only ones I actually have cold foil are the Brave Forge Bracers and the Tunic. Pulled the Tunic from a box, really lucky. The Brave Forge Bracers I purchased from Fab Foundry, actually. And so here, as you can see now, I am only missing the Mask of Momentum. The Scab Skin I pulled on a video. You may or may not have seen the video. Obviously getting the Tectonic today. And of course, I pulled this Heart of Fyandal, also in a video, which was insane. Actually insane. Still not sure what I'm going to do with this. I'm probably just going to keep it and just have it as part of my collection. I was really considering selling this. I mean, it's so expensive. And I could sell this and buy like 2 cases. But I digress. This is where the Tectonic Plating is going to live, and I'll just pull it out when I need to play with Bravo. And that's, you know, same for True. Whenever I buy the Mask of Momentum for Katsu, it will also get a top loader. Even though some of the cards that I have in some of the other decks are quite expensive, like my Cold Foil Bloodsheath Skeleton is a little bit of a pricey card. So yeah, we have the Tectonic Plating. Really, really good card for Bravo there. And then, of course, we have all of these cards. So let's scooch the Katsu over, and then we can kind of lay some of these cards down and kind of look a little bit at this Bravo deck. Obviously, we are running Anothos. Well, not maybe obviously, but Anothos is still fantastic, and you can kind of see there's a little bit of the cold foiling in there. We got the Crater Fist, his majestic equipment from Crucible of War, and then we have the Mage Master Boots, which is actually really good in this deck. And of course, we have the foil Seismic Surge token to go with the Tectonic Plating. Excellent stuff there. So we have our Alpha Crippling Crush. Let's slide these other Crippling Crushes where they belong, as well as our single Spinal Crush that I opened in a video not too long ago. Put the other 2 Spinal Crushes in there. Same with the Cranial Crush. Put those 2 with the Cranial Crush. We also have Mangle here. I'm not sure if these need to go main deck. I'm not sure. I'll need to play this deck a lot more before I figure out which ones are more main deckable or which ones go in versus what classes. We got your Buckling Blows. You got your Cartilage Crushes. Bravo is super resource intensive because a lot of the cards cost a lot of resources, but you can do really sweet stuff Like, you can do his action here for 2 resources until the end of the turn. Your attack action cards with cost 3 or greater gain Dominate, and then go again. And giving Crippling Crush Dominate, whoo boy, it's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a big hurt. So yeah, Bravo's really sweet. Kind of a slow deck, really defensive deck. You definitely want a lot of resources here. We have Debilitate. We got this Disable, more some of these are foil. It's just kind of hard to tell. Latch Ditch Effort is a pretty good one for running the game out. It's a very interesting card. First of all, it has blue pitch, so you definitely want to pitch this early to get on the bottom of your deck because you only want this late game. And it says when you play Last Ditch Effort, if you have no cards in your deck, it gains +4 and go again. So it's an 8 damage go again for 3. It's just a really good way to close out the game at the end. We have our alpha print foil Showtime. I wanted foil Showtimes to go with the Showtime. So yeah, you can see these ones are a little bit darker, honestly. Oh, maybe it's hard to tell. Got your Towering Titan, really sweet card to just drop for 9, and then follow up with a massive Crippling Crush. You have your Blessing of Deliverance. You got your Pummels, which are fantastic. Another pummel. And then we have a bunch of defensive cards here. We got your Sink Belows, because it's Sink Below, dude. Red Sink Below is fantastic. Fate Foreseen, another really good defensive option. Defense reaction, actually, with Opt. Unmovable, just really solid. Blue pitches is quite good. Got some Staunch Responses. Got some Sigil of Solace. Got this pink pitch, so you can kind of compare the pitches. Once again, alpha print to the unlimited. As well as your Tome of Fyendal. And these cards are actually really good with the Mage Master Boots. So giving this go again, drawing some cards, just really good way to get a lot of advantage there. And of course we have some potions and a little doggy here. We have Energy Potion and got your Flexin Potion. And with these decks being more or less complete, this brings my total Flesh and Blood deck count up to 7. I have these 2 decks. I have the Viscerai deck that I've already done a video on. I have an updated Dorinthia deck that I plan to do a video on. I also have a Blitz Azalea deck as well as a Blitz Mechanologist deck. I believe that's it. I believe that's 7. I want to make my Blitz Mechanologist deck into a Data Doll deck. I know, crazy, but I want to do it. I want to make a Data Doll deck. And what is the only other class I'm missing? I'm definitely missing... Oh, no, I also have a Wizard deck, too. I have a Blitz Wizard deck, too. Am I missing anyone? Oh, yeah, Reinhardt. Duh, I pulled the freaking pants here. I mean, I can probably build Reinhardt without too much trouble. The only problem with this is I was waiting for Command and Conquer to get printed because Reinhardt really wants Command and Conquer, and I already have my Command and Conquers in my Viscerai deck. And I didn't want to like have to take them out. I wanted just to have enough to have them in the decks that they need to go in. So wanted to get some Command and Conquers before I make this deck. And I think this will be really easy to make because I have almost all the cards for it already. And the Majestics are pretty cheap. It'll probably only cost me like $40 to buy them. Well, I don't know. Probably cost me $200 because I need to buy the Command and Conquers too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe I'll do some trade-in stuff. But yeah, so that was the only other deck I need to build, and I'll have one of each of the base classes. And that's that for the video today. I'm super glad to have almost all of the legendaries here. This has kind of been something I've been building up for almost like a year or so, ever since I started playing Flesh and Blood. Man, I really do regret not picking up these back when they were only like $70 to $80 for the unlimited, or for the alpha print version, back before the game exploded, because that's the price that these used to be. These ones in particular used to be around like $80-$70, and then the mask was like 90. I think it was like going on eBay for like $90 to $100 for the alpha version. And I was like, oh, I'll just buy it later. Yeah, well, this is what happens when you're like, I'll just buy it later. And there's so much glare here. Well, anyway, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think of these decks. Like I said, I did net deck these from fleshandblood.com or FABTCG.com from their events section. Click on that deck list area. Like I said, I do plan to change these however I see fit as I play with them, and I'll likely change them a little bit, tweak them here or there, but I'd like to start with a good baseline, a deck that I know is going to be good. and then kind of like, you know, alter it from there. However I see fit. I'm really excited to play with Bravo. So this deck's all complete, ready to go. Still need to get my Mask of Momentum. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video or other videos on this channel with your friends who you think might like Flesh and Blood, or maybe who are already Flesh and Blood players. But without further ado, I've talked long enough. I'll see you next time for some more card game content. See you later.